So now you're growing your company and you have some employees that are not getting along, right? You've got some people that fit in really good, and then you got other ones that don't fit in good. What do you do? Having a company culture that everyone gets along with is vital when you're trying to operate a business that is operating purely on system, structure, and procedures. The challenge is those people that are operating those are called humans. And those humans have issues, challenges, emotions. And it doesn't always work that everyone is robotic and things don't always go accordingly to plan, right? We all know in the years that we've either worked at a company or owned our own that not every day is perfect. As a matter of fact, every day is probably made up of the sum of a lot of chaotic things going on, just sometimes in some sort of schematic order that you can survive the day and you don't have to worry about the issues and challenges that happen. So you get an employee, and maybe they're rock star employees, right? A lot of times salespeople can be rock star employees. However, those salespeople may operate and beat to a different drum than the rest of the company. Statistically, in a business, you have sales and operations. And operations doesn't normally get along with sales. Why? Because salesperson is the one who is always at the networking events, getting a company card sometimes to go to parties, buy things for clients, meet up with people, depending on how big your company is, right? Maybe it's a golf course membership, maybe it's going to dinners, maybe it's going to drinks and happy hours. And the operations people, well, they're the ones that are actually doing all the work from their perception, but they don't get to enjoy these things. Salesperson whips in, got another contract signed, slams it on the desk. Hey, I'm out of here. Good luck, losers. I'm going out to close more deals. Not my problem, right? Salesperson normally drives a nice fancy car, and the operations people are just slugging it out, dealing with issues, dealing with some challenges. Maybe what the salesperson offered and agreed to is not really what the company line is. All these things happen, right? If this is your business, this is not uncommon. If it hasn't happened, it will as you grow. Hey, don't forget October 12th and 14th in Houston, Texas. You're gonna learn from the people that have built their businesses to multi-million-dollar levels. I'm talking Brad Lee from Lightspeed VT, James Lawrence, the Iron Cowboy, 2 Guinness World Records, and Dr. Kevin Elko, who's one of the most famous coaches that coaches the coaches. He is Nick Saban's coach. October 12th through the 14th, I'm doing a 3-day deep dive mastermind where you can come and learn directly from these guys to take you and your business to the next level. See you there. Businesses are made up of a bunch of people, and these people are a bunch of different personalities. Now, the key to doing this is understanding how those different personalities fit in with your business and how to make sure that everyone goes correctly. Because the challenge is, company culture is vital, and everyone getting along is so important. And if you're not making sure that everyone is getting along and the company culture is not always protected, it can get toxic very quickly. And when things get toxic, now what happens is you kind of have the bad apple, and the bad apple is ruining it for everyone else, right? You've heard the phrase, a bad apple spoils the bunch. That's because the bad apple gives off a toxic and it ruins the rest of the apples. Well, in a company, when you have a bad apple or a bad employee, what ends up happening? They cause more drama, they cause more chaos, they cause more confusion. But unfortunately, what normally happens is the good apples, the good employees say, you know what? I'm not dealing with this. I'm freaking out of here. They leave. So now you just lost your good employees for the one bad employee, and you still have the problem. See, that problem doesn't go away. So what do you have to do? Well, what you have to do is you've got to make sure that you understand who is the problem or challenge, we'll say, and how do you fix that, right? Communication skills. Now, I'm a big believer that when you hire employees, you hire them based on a DISC profile, D-I-S-C. And a DISC profile is a personality profiling system to be able to get all of your employees doing the same thing. And it's a certain personality for each role. So when you hire a position based on your organization chart, and hopefully you have an organization chart, that's done off of the role, and the role is tied to a certain DISC profile, right? And so you need to know what that DISC is. You need to understand how to communicate with that DISC. And more importantly, the team needs to understand each other as well. So some kind of personality training is very good to understand, because you may say, let's just say sales, for example, you may say, man, this salesperson is very dramatic. They cause a lot of chaos. But you know what though? The salesperson is the one who actually makes the money for the company. They're the ones who bring in the business. So you cut off the salesperson, it's like you just turned your open light to closed, and now you're no longer bringing in new business. So is it worth the personality? Is it worth the challenge? It depends, right? I'll give you an example. Not everyone is treated the same in a business or in any kind of organization. We'll take sports, for example. I can guarantee that Michael Jordan in basketball, or Tom Brady in football, or Joe Montana, for those of you that are old enough, I'm guessing that they were not treated the same as everyone else. It's okay, right? They do something special, something different. They have a special skill set. It's okay to treat people different as long as everyone respects everyone else and you keep the culture intact. So sometimes some people may need to be coddled a little bit more. Some people may need to be treated a little better. But the reality is you've got to make sure that you're always respectful of each other and they're respectful of one another. You cannot run a business where people are not respecting each other. And that's something a lot of people don't understand, and they don't do it correctly. So here's the thing, if you want to grow your company, you've got to make sure that when you're interviewing and hiring people, that they understand the vision, they understand where the company's going, you understand what their DISC profile is, and you hired based on DISC, not based on your gut feeling. And you make sure that other employees and team members understand the way this personality and the way this type of DISC profile communicates. And then you're going to be able to run a lot more successful communication with the people. So a lot of times I've always said that's not bad employees. A lot of times it's bad leadership or lack thereof. Make sure you become that leader that they need to be so that people can follow you. When they know what their job is, they know how to communicate, and you give them the training and the skills in order to succeed, that's how you're gonna be successful. If you just put them in and say, go, and it's just chaos back and forth, you can't really blame anyone because you didn't give them the proper skills they needed to succeed. So make sure that you always remember that it always starts at the top and it works its way down. That means you need to be prepared. Don't just hire someone and throw it at them. Make sure you hire them with expectations, skills, and training. Hey, thanks so much for watching today. Don't forget, October 12th through the 14th, right here in Houston, Texas, is my 3-day deep dive mastermind. I'm bringing in Bradley, Iron Cowboy James Lawrence, and Dr. Kevin Elko, who's Nick Saban's personal coach. You don't want to miss this. Click on the link to learn more.